That's right. It's time for Catching Up with Carley, presented by Meijer. And now I'm joined by former Tigers outfielder Andy Dirks. How's it going, Andy?
It's going great. How are you doing today?
Very good, very good. How have you felt seeing live baseball again?
I haven't watched the full live games due to all the kids that I now have, but seeing the recaps and just talking baseball, thinking baseball, knowing things are happening, knowing that the Tigers are playing, it's kind of like it's very refreshing. It's refreshing to see some things happening that are positive, fun, exciting, the community to talk about other than masks and all those other things, right?
100%. I've definitely missed live sports. But let's dive right into this past weekend for the Tigers. They went 2-1 against the Reds, the Cincinnati Reds, for their first series win of the season, which is really exciting to start off with this 60-game stretch on a good foot. Andy, what do you think you saw from the team this weekend? I mean, what is your assessment of the team?
Well, obviously, with three games, it's pretty early to tell the full story. But going to Cincinnati, they faced some very good pitching. We knew that that their starters are very, very good in Cincinnati, and they have a very good ball club. So we didn't really know what to expect. I know day one, it went the best it could have for the Tigers. The games were close. Cincinnati wasn't able to score a lot of runs, which is good because in this ball club that we have in Detroit, we're not a high run producing team. So we have to pitch and play defense very well. And they did that. They had their blips here and there, which are to be expected early on. The first game, you're getting the jitters out. There's a lot of excitement, especially with this condensed season. It's been nobody knows what's going to happen. And all of a sudden, here they are playing with cardboard cutouts in the background, and it's weird. And what's going on? And but overall, I think the series taking 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati was huge. A great way to start. Now, obviously, 3 games doesn't define a baseball team. 2 games, 2 wins doesn't define a baseball team. But it's good to start off on a positive note to see these guys playing pretty good baseball already.
Okay, there are a few players I want to highlight. So I'm going to give you their names. Then I want you to give me an assessment of their play over the weekend, things they did right, maybe things that they need to improve on, etc. All right, so first up, we have pitcher Matt Boyd.
Yeah. So, Matt's a great pitcher. We know what he's capable of. Every starting pitcher will have a blip from time to
Mhm.
time. His just happened to be opening day. Sometimes the mechanics aren't feeling good. Things just aren't going right. And, he struggled finding the zone. We know what he's capable of doing. I'm not freaked out about him at all. It's not like, whoa, what's going on here? He knows what he needs to do to make adjustments moving forward. He even admitted I didn't make adjustments like I should have. Now, some of that, you can blame things on lengthy layovers, but at the end of the day, when you're a professional athlete, you don't get excuses. You need to
Mhm.
perform. So Matt will have a chance in his next outing to show, hey, I'm a legit pitcher. Every great pitcher has had bad days. Every good pitcher has bad days, but I'll have more good days than bad days overall. That's what we're looking for out of Boyd. I'm not concerned at all. Now, if he comes out in the next 3 outings and is really struggling, then there's some reason for concern. But one outing like that, given the circumstances and everything, he's going to analyze what happened, make his adjustments, and say, okay, this is what I need to do moving forward.
Room for improvement. I dig it. All right, now how about Jacoby
Yep.
Jones?
Well, Jacoby, as usual, is a great athlete, right? Offensively, he's been streaky. We know that about him. But we do know that when he's playing good defense, it seems like the rest of his game, for whatever reason, is on point. And that's, some things that I like about him. I think as he grows in maturity, to become a little more consistent would be great, right? And that's what every baseball player is striving for is that consistent play that, I don't get in huge slumps, but, and when I'm productive, I'm just always helping the team find a way to help the team win games, whether it's base running, defense, hitting. And he's that kind of player that he can have a massive impact on a baseball game. You saw that great play he made in center field the last game. Those are the type of things he's capable of. And I think, with him, it's always how long is the stretch going to last when he's playing well? How long is the stretch going to last when he's not playing as well? If he can figure out when things are going good to just let them be good and not get freaked out if a few things start falling apart, he drops a
Mhm.
ball or he strikes out 4 times or he's over his last 10. if he can figure out that I am good and I can help the team win in other ways and sees the importance of his overall game, he's a great asset to have on the field.
Great assessment. I love to hear that. All right, now I can't help but bring up CJ Crone, who just had a great series. Someone I'm excited to watch
Yeah.
this season. What is your assessment of his play?
I love guys that can hit homers, but
Uh-huh.
I never was a home run hitter. But what I really liked was the last game. He struggled with the fastball up in the zone. He struck out a couple times, wasn't having great plate appearances early in the game, but then still had the confidence in that last at bat to put the Tigers on top with the home run to right field. He didn't let those other strikeouts affect the crunch time play, which that speaks volumes of a player when they're struggling at the plate early in the game. Now the game's on the line, and the guy threw him a fastball again, and he had struggled with the fastball earlier in the game. So of course they're going to throw him the heater. This one, they left it over the plate a little more. It wasn't quite as elevated, and he did an amazing job just staying relaxed, not trying to do too much, because previously, usually when you strike out, right, or you're having a rough day at the plate, your natural instinct is to try to overcompensate and do more. But that shows some of his maturity and some of the seasons this guy's had prior to. Just with 400 at bats, 300 at bats, he's put up really, really, really good numbers. So I hope, this is a short and condensed season, but I think if he gets full playing, he knows he's going to be in the starting lineup. He knows he's going to be playing every day. That confidence boost to continue on this season, to help us win a World Series this season, right? And then and then to help in future seasons as well. But I think this season it'll be fun to watch him. He's a great addition.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, and how impactful do you think this first series win is for the Tigers? And do you think they'll be able to keep that momentum going and maybe end up in that playoff push position?
If there's a chance for the Tigers to make a playoff, it's a 60-game short and condensed season. We all know that. With the talent that we have, some of these guys will play above their ability level, which is what we want. You always want people that are playing to play higher than what their natural ability will allow them. And if these guys, enough of them can do that and say, hey, I'm going to take my game from here where everybody thinks I am, and I'm going to come up just a little bit, and everybody on the team just starts creeping up, that's when you can create a really good ball club. I think that winning the first couple at least will give them confidence that, hey, we're an actual contender and we're a ball team. We're not just the ragtag Tigers that everybody's been labeling them as for the last 5 years and saying, well, this is a bunch of misfits. I don't like those words, and I've used them in the past, but now I'm like, they're baseball players. These guys are out there to play baseball. They're out there to win ball games. And we need to quit saying they're just a bunch of, misfits, because the way they played didn't look like misfits to me. They played good, sound baseball overall. So that's what I'm excited about, is seeing them as a team. If each individual guy just keeps getting a little better and a little better, we're going to have a squad by the end of this 60 games.
I think it's the Tigers' year. Okay, now looking into the series against the Kansas City Royals, what kind of threats do the Royals pose to the Tigers?
To be honest, I don't know with all this stuff. With all that's been going on, the Royals have been not good as of late. But that doesn't mean that, hey, just because we beat the Reds, we're going to beat the Royals too. Because in Major League Baseball, every team's got good players. And all it takes is one guy being on his game, starting pitcher to shut you down, one hitter to have a hot day and drive in 5 runs. There's so many variables in baseball that even though the Royals aren't great, the Tigers aren't supposed to be great either. So it's kind of like the battle of the bottom of the barrel. But I wouldn't look at it like that if I was the Tigers. I'd look at it as we are the team to beat now, because we're in first place in the AL, tied for first place. We are the team to beat, and carry that kind of attitude into Kansas City to say, we're not equal. We're not on the same playing field. We're here to dominate you. We're like the Yankees in the 90s. They can carry that kind of little swagger, little attitude going in there, as opposed to, oh, it's the battle of the bottom of the barrel, right? I don't like that attitude. And what'll happen is, how we were talking about those increases in play. Let me get them lined up here. There you go. What'll happen is you go to a team that's supposed to not be as good, because Cincinnati's supposed to be good. go to Kansas City, they're not supposed to be as good. So what you do is you kind of like you automatically fall into this, which they can't do. They need to keep going, keep going, keep going up and up and up. So it's a big series, and like I said, it's so early on. It's hard to see who's got what and who's going to be playing well right off the bat. Because some of the veteran players won't play well, for the first 2 months traditionally, and then they catch fire and watch out. So we'll see. It's an interesting situation. I'm excited. It's kind of fun. It's new. It's fresh. It's something different than we've ever seen.
It's a sprint. It's not a marathon this season, which is something vastly different than we've ever experienced before. All right, and finally, I want to know, what is one thing you miss the most about not attending the home opener? I mean, unfortunately, no fans in the stands, so we weren't able to be there. But
Yeah.
what is one thing you miss the most?
The smell, the atmosphere, the fans getting rowdy and being excited. I don't miss the cold weather because you traditionally home openers in Detroit are freezing. So it's nice to have good weather. But I think this could have been really huge. I know that with the lockdown, it's not going to be what we were hoping for, but it's better than nothing. The restaurants down there, I think, are providing some kind of outdoor spaces and entertaining, but it's not going to be the mass crowds. You're not going to have 80 to 100,000 people in downtown Detroit, 50, 60,000, whatever, down there. But there'll be a lot of people plugged in. And I think for the players, one of the greatest rushes is running out when they announce your name to the home crowd and everybody cheers to a packed stadium. And home openers always packed, right? And it's like, ooh, that adrenaline rush and the butterflies and the like, I'm floating out here as I'm running onto the field. They're not going to have that. But I think it plays well to a younger team that maybe doesn't have as much experience dealing with those emotional highs
Yeah.
compared to some of the veteran squads. So it's kind of sad that they won't get to experience that. But at the same time, I think it plays to our advantage. So guys don't have to worry about the noise, the crowd noise, the booing, the
Right.
jeering, the all the stuff that goes with it, and they can just focus on playing baseball.
Well, I love it. I'm happy baseball is back. I feel blessed to just have live baseball, even though I'm watching it from home. But Andy, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to be on Catching Up with Carley, presented by Meijer. It's been so nice talking with you, talking baseball. I hope you take care and hope to see you soon at a ballpark.
Absolutely, sounds good. Enjoy the rest of your summer and go Tigers.
Go Tigers!